Miracles are the direct result of consciousness operating at a specific frequency. A frequency that most humans have forgotten how to access, but a frequency that is available to you right now, in this moment, as you listen to these words. Welcome to the reality revolution. Today we're activating miracles. Let me tell you about something that happened in a hospital in Switzerland. In 1952, a woman lay dying. Stage 4 cancer. The doctors had given her days, maybe hours. Her family had gathered around her bed to say goodbye. The priest had administered last rites. Everyone was waiting for the inevitable, except the woman herself. She had fallen into what appeared to be a deep sleep, but it wasn't sleep. Later she would describe it as entering a space of pure light, a field of absolute possibility where the laws of physics as we understand them simply didn't apply. And in that space, she made a choice that shouldn't have been possible according to everything medicine understood at the time. She chose to live. When she opened her eyes 3 hours later, something had changed. Not gradually, not over days or weeks of recovery, immediately. The pain that had been constant for months was gone. The tumors that had riddled her body were shrinking even as the nurses checked her vitals in disbelief. Within 3 days, every test came back clean. The cancer wasn't in remission, it was gone, completely, as if it had never existed. The medical team called it spontaneous remission. They documented it, filed it away, moved on to the next patient, because what else could they do? They had no framework for understanding what had actually occurred. But we do. What happened in that hospital room wasn't a random anomaly. It wasn't divine intervention in the sense of some external force reaching down to save her. It was something far more profound and far more accessible than that. It was a miracle, and miracles, contrary to everything you've been taught, are not violations of natural law. They're not rare gifts bestowed by a distant deity on the especially deserving. They are not the result of the blind luck or cosmic favoritism. Miracles are the direct result of consciousness operating at a specific frequency. A frequency that most humans have forgotten how to access, but a frequency that is available to you right now, in this moment, as you listen to these words. Here's what makes miracles so difficult for most people to accept. They are simultaneously the most natural thing in the universe and the most impossible thing according to our conditioning. Every spiritual tradition throughout history has documented miracles. Jesus walking on water, turning water into wine, healing the sick with a touch, the Buddha manifesting food for his followers, yogis materializing objects from thin air, shamans calling rain in times of drought, saints whose bodies didn't decay after death. We read these stories and we think, well, that was then. That was them. That was special. Those were chosen ones, enlightened beings, divine avatars, not regular people like us. But that's the conditioning talking. That's the programming that keeps you locked in a reality where miracles are impossible. Because if miracles are actually possible for you, if you could actually bend or transcend the laws of physics through the power of your consciousness, then everything you've been taught about reality would have to be reconsidered. And that's terrifying. It's easier to believe that miracles don't happen or that they only happen to other people than to accept the full implications of what it would mean if they were actually accessible to you. But here's what quantum physics is now confirming. What the mystics have always known and what you're about to experience directly. Reality is not fixed. It's fluid. It's responsive. It's a field of infinite possibilities, and consciousness is what collapses those possibilities into experienced events. Most people collapse possibilities unconsciously. They get what their conditioning expects, what their beliefs allow, what their fears attract. But when you learn to operate at the miracle frequency, You start collapsing possibilities consciously. You start manifesting outcomes that the ordinary laws of probability would deem impossible. You start creating what can only be called miracles. Before we activate your ability to manifest miracles, we need to establish a clear understanding of what miracles actually are. Because the word has been so loaded with religious and superstitious meaning that most people have completely distorted ideas of what we're talking about. A miracle is not a suspension of natural law. It's the application of a higher law that most people don't know exists. Think of it this way. If you showed a smartphone to someone from the year 1500, they would call it a miracle. They would think you were a sorcerer or a god. A device that lets you see and talk to people on the other side of the world, that contains all the knowledge of humanity, that can capture images and sounds and store them forever. Impossible. Miraculous. But it's not a miracle. It's just technology. It's the application of principles: electromagnetic radiation, semiconductor physics, quantum mechanics that existed in 1500 but weren't yet understood. Miracles work the same way. They are not violations of how the universe works. They are the application of principles that quantum physics is only now beginning to understand and that mystics have been working with for millennia. Here are those principles. First, consciousness is not produced by matter. Consciousness is primary matter emerging from consciousness, which means that consciousness can directly affect matter in ways that seem impossible if you believe the materialist paradigm. Second, time is not linear. All possibilities exist simultaneously in the quantum field. What we call the past, present, and future are just different focal points within an eternal now, which means you can access future outcomes and collapse them into your present experience. Third, you're not separate from the universe. You're not an isolated consciousness trapped in a bag of meat, moving through an external objective reality. You are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively, which means that changing your consciousness changes the universe because they're not two different things. Fourth, reality operates on frequency. Everything is vibration. Your thoughts are vibrations. Your emotions are vibrations. Physical matter is vibration at a density that your senses can perceive. And when you shift your frequency to match the frequency of a desired outcome, that outcome must manifest. This is not metaphor, it's physics. Fifth, there are quantum states that exist beyond the normal probability distributions. In statistics, there are events that are so improbable they should never occur, except they do. Spontaneous remissions, synchronicities so precise they can't be chance. Manifestations that defy all reasonable odds. These are miracles, and they happen when consciousness reaches a specific threshold of coherence and intention. So what is this miracle frequency? What does it feel like? How do you access it? Every enlightened being, every miracle worker, every person who has ever manifested something truly impossible has reported the same basic experience. They describe a state of consciousness characterized by complete presence, not thinking about the past or worrying about the future, total absorption in the eternal now, unwavering certainty, not hope, not belief, not positive thinking, but an absolute unshakable knowing that what they're intending is already real. Unconditional love, not emotional sentimentality, but a state of being in which there's no separation between self and other, no judgment, no resistance, just pure acceptance and appreciation of what is. Zero attachment to outcome. Paradoxically, even though they have absolute certainty about the result, they are completely at peace with whatever happens. There's no desperation, no need, no fear of failure. Surrender to a higher intelligence, an understanding that they're not making the miracle happen through personal will. They're allowing it to happen by aligning with universal will. When you combine all these states, something happens in your consciousness. Your brainwaves shift into a specific pattern. Your heart generates a massive, coherent electromagnetic field. Your energy body aligns with the 0 point field And in that moment, you're operating at the miracle frequency. At this frequency, what we call miracles becomes natural. Healings occur spontaneously. Synchronicities multiply. Impossible doors open. Resources appear from nowhere. Problems that seemed insurmountable dissolve. The right people show up at exactly the right time. You're not forcing anything to happen. You're not trying to manipulate reality. You're simply becoming a clear channel through which the infinite intelligence of the universe can express itself in your life. Now, as I speak these words to you, I want you to understand that this isn't just information. Every phrase, every sentence, every concept I'm sharing with you is encoded with a specific frequency. And as you listen, really listen, your consciousness is beginning to entrain to that frequency. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to try to make something happen. In fact, trying is exactly what will block the miracle frequency, because trying implies effort, and miracles don't come through effort. They come through allowing. So just listen. Just be present with these words and notice what happens in your body, in your energy, in your awareness as we move through this activation together. You might notice a shift right now. Maybe a sense of expansion, maybe a feeling of warmth or tingling. Maybe just a subtle awareness that something is different, or maybe you don't notice anything specific yet. That's perfect too, because the activation is happening on levels far deeper than what your conscious mind can track. The reason most people don't experience miracles is not because they're not capable of them. It's because they have layers of conditioning that block the miracle frequency. Let me tell you what those blocks are, and I name them, and you can feel them beginning to dissolve. The first block is the belief that you're not worthy. Somewhere deep inside you believe that miracles happen to other people, special people, holy people, lucky people, but not you. You've made too many mistakes. You're not spiritual enough. You're not pure enough, and you don't deserve miracles. That's a lie. Miracles have nothing to do with worthiness. The universe doesn't judge. Quantum physics doesn't care if you've been good or bad. The field of infinite possibilities is equally available to everyone. A flower doesn't have to prove it's worthy before it blooms. A bird doesn't have to earn the right to fly. And you don't have to be perfect to manifest miracles. So right now, release that belief. Just let it go. You don't even need to know how to let it go. Just give yourself permission to release the idea that you're not worthy of miracles. Feel that weight lifting off of you. The second block is the need to know how. You want to understand the mechanism. You want a step-by-step process. You want to be able to explain and control and predict exactly how miracles will occur. But miracles don't work that way. They emerge from the field of infinite intelligence, and that intelligence is vastly more complex than your conscious mind. If you knew exactly how the miracles were going to happen, it wouldn't be a miracle. It would just be a plan. So release the need to know how. Trust that the universe has infinite ways to deliver what you're intending. Ways you can't imagine. Ways that will surprise and delight you. Your job isn't to figure out the how. Your job is to hold the frequency and let the intelligence of the field handle the logistics. The third block is fear of disappointment. You wanted things before. You've hoped for things, prayed for things, visualized things, and they didn't happen, and it hurt. So now part of you is afraid to really open to the possibility of miracles, because what if you get your hopes up and nothing changes? What if you try this and it doesn't work? What if miracles are real for other people but not for you? That fear is a protective mechanism, but it's also the very thing that keeps miracles from manifesting, because fear operates at a frequency that's incompatible with the miracle frequency. You can't be in fear and in miracles at the same time. So release that fear now. Acknowledge that yes, you've been disappointed before. Yes, you've wanted things that didn't manifest, but maybe, just maybe, those things didn't manifest because you were trying from the wrong frequency. And maybe this time, as you align with the true miracle frequency, something different becomes possible. The fourth block is attachment to specific outcomes. You want the miracle to look a specific way. You want this person to love you. You want this amount of money. You want this particular job. And when the universe tries to deliver something even better through a different avenue, you don't recognize it because it doesn't match your mental picture. Miracles require flexibility. They require trust that the intelligence guiding them knows more than your limited perspective. So release your attachment to the specific form the miracles must take. Set your intention, yes, but be clear about what you want, yes, and then open to receiving it in whatever way the universe knows is best. The fifth block is the belief in limitation. You believe that there are laws of physics that can't be bent, that there are financial limits you can't exceed, that there are health conditions that can't be healed, that there are circumstances that can't be changed. But every miracle in history has been a demonstration that those limits are not as fixed as we think. Matter is just condensed energy. Time is just a construct of perception. Space is just a framework for organizing experience, and consciousness can affect all of it. So release the belief in limitation. Open to the possibility that reality is far more malleable than you've been taught. That what seems impossible from one level of consciousness becomes inevitable from another. Now we're going to access the field, what the Taoists call Wu Wei, what quantum physicists call the zero-point field. This is the space of pure potential from which all miracles merge. The zero-point field is not empty, it's full, infinitely full. It contains every possibility, every potential, every outcome that could ever occur. And it's not somewhere out there, it's everywhere, including right here, right now in the space you're occupying. To access this field, you need to enter a state of profound stillness. Not physical stillness necessarily, though that can help, but mental and emotional stillness. A cessation of the constant churning of thoughts and feelings that normally dominates your consciousness. So right now, just for a moment, let yourself become very still. If thoughts arise, that's fine. Just notice them. Then pass like clouds moving across the sky. You're not engaging with them, you're not following them, you're just being still beneath them. As you become still, you might notice something interesting. You might notice that beneath all the mental noise, there's a quality of silence. Not the absence of sound, but a quality of presence that's always there, available and very peaceful. This silence is the zero-point field. It's from this silence that miracles emerge. Rest in this silence now. Don't try to make anything happen. Just be present with this quality of stillness, of peace, of infinite potential. And from this place of silence, I want you to notice something. You are already whole, complete, abundant, loved, and healed. Not in the future, not after the miracle manifests, but right now, because in this field, in the realm of pure consciousness, there is no lack. There is no disease. There is no limitation. There is only the infinite perfection of the present moment. This is the secret that all great miracle workers understood. They didn't manifest miracles from a place of lack. They manifested them from a place of already having. They didn't heal from a place of disease. They healed from a place of recognizing the perfect health that already existed at the deepest level of being. So feel that now. Feel the wholeness that already exists within you. The completeness, the perfection, not as a concept, as a direct experience. Now we're going to work with the quantum field directly to collapse your miracle from possibility into actuality. In physics, there's something called the observer effect. The act of observing collapses a wave function, a field of possibilities, into a definite state. Your consciousness is the observer, and what you observe with sufficient focus and intention must manifest. You can't observe something you don't believe is possible. You can't collapse a probability wave that your mind insists doesn't exist. So the first step is to open your awareness to the field of infinite possibilities, to recognize that whatever miracle you're wanting to manifest already exists in the field as a probability wave. It's there. It's real. It's just not yet collapsed into your experienced timeline. Think of it like this. Right now, in the quantum field, there exists a version of reality where you are already experiencing your miracle, where your body is already healed, where your finances are already abundant, where your relationship is already thriving, where your purpose is already fulfilled. That version isn't less real than your current experience. It's just operating at a different frequency, and the question is, can you tune your consciousness to match that frequency? So let's do that now. I want you to think of the miracle you most want to manifest. Not multiple things, just one. The one that would change everything, the one that feels most important right now. You got it? Good. Now I don't want you to visualize it yet. Visualization is fine, but it's not the most powerful technique for manifesting miracles, because when you visualize, you're often doing it from a place of not having. You're looking at images of what you want. Instead, I want you to feel it. I want you to drop into the feeling state of already having your miracle, already being in that reality where it has manifested. How does it feel in your body? What's the quality of energy you experience? Is it lightness, relief, joy, peace, excitement? Just feel it. Inhabit that feeling as fully as you can. We're not pretending. It's not fake it till you make it, although that can work. This is quantum entanglement. By feeling the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you're entangling your consciousness with the timeline where the miracle has already occurred. And the more intensely and consistently you can maintain that feeling, the faster that timeline collapses into your present experience. So rest in this feeling now. Breathe into it. Let it fill every cell of your body. Let it radiate out from you into the space around you. And as you do this, something is happening in the quantum field. Probability waves are shifting. Timelines are converging. What was just a possibility is becoming more and more probable, more and more inevitable. Now we want to amplify the miracle manifestation by adding the most powerful frequency in the universe, gratitude. Not gratitude for what you're going to receive, but gratitude for what you're already receiving now, present tense, as if the miracle has already occurred. Because in the quantum field, it is always the eternal now. In the realm of infinite possibilities, your miracle already exists. So you're not being fake when you feel grateful for it. You're being accurate. You're acknowledging a truth that exists at a level deeper than physical manifestation. So feel that gratitude now, deep, profound, overwhelming gratitude for the miracle that is already yours. Let that gratitude flood through you. Let it expand your heart. Let it bring tears to your eyes if it wants to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Say it out loud. Thank you. If you're in a space where you can, say it. Or feel it silently, but feel it with every fiber of your being. Thank you for this miracle. Thank you for this healing. Thank you for this abundance. Thank you for this breakthrough. Thank you for this transformation. And notice what happens as you express this gratitude. Notice how the feeling intensifies. Notice how your energy shifts, how something opens in your chest, in your solar plexus, in the entire field around you. This is the amplifier, the gratitude amplifier, and it's one of the most powerful techniques for manifesting miracles that exists, because gratitude is not just an emotion, it's a frequency. And when you operate at the frequency of gratitude, you become a magnet for more things to be grateful for. The universe responds to gratitude by giving you more to be grateful for. It's a loop, a feedback system. And the more you engage it, the more miracles flow into your life. Now here's where it gets subtle, where a lot of people sabotage their miracles. You have to surrender to divine timing. This doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean to stop intending or detach so completely that you don't care anymore. It means releasing your attachment to when and how the miracle manifests. The universe operates on a different time scale than your ego. Your ego wants the miracle now and today. This week, it wants proof, it wants validation, relief from the tension of not having. Miracles don't respond to desperation. They don't respond to need. They respond to alignment. And sometimes the miracle you're calling in requires a series of other events to occur first. Pieces have to move into place. People have to be positioned. Circumstances have to align. And that might take longer than your ego thinks it should. So you have to trust. You have to surrender to the intelligence of the universe. I've had to learn this the hard way. And every time I see success in letting go and detaching from the timeline of what I want, it always ends up being much better than I thought. Just know that it's orchestrating things in ways your limited perspective can't see. This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, but informed faith, based on the understanding that you've done your part. You set the intention, you've aligned with the frequency, you felt the feeling. Now you trust the universe is doing its part. So right now, take whatever miracle you've been focusing on and imagine placing it in the hands of infinite intelligence. Not abandoning it, just releasing your tight grip on it, trusting that it's been taken care of, knowing that it's already done in the quantum realm, and it's just a matter of time before it manifests in physical form. And then let it go. Let your body relax. Let the tension of needing it to happen now dissolve. Rest in the knowing that it's handled. As your miracle begins to collapse from the field into the physical reality, you'll start to notice miracle markers. There are signs that the manifestation process is underway. The first is increased synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences will start occurring more frequently. Don't dismiss any synchronicity as random chance. They're confirmation that you're aligned with the miracle frequency. You'll be in the right place at the right time over and over again. You'll think of someone and they'll call. You'll need information and it will show up. The second marker is doors opening. Opportunities will appear that weren't there before. People will offer help. Resources will become available. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable will suddenly dissolve. And this is my favorite part. It's amazing how these opportunities come to you. And when you notice these doors opening, walk through them. Don't overthink it. Don't question whether you're worthy or ready. The universe is responding to your intention. Trust it. The third marker is a sense of inner peace. Even though your miracle hasn't fully manifested, you'll feel a calm knowing that it's coming. You won't be anxious anymore. You won't be desperately searching for proof. You'll just know. This peace is actually one of the most reliable indicators that your miracle's on its way. It means you've successfully aligned with the frequency of already having it. The fourth marker is inspired action. You'll get sudden impulses to do things, contact people, go places. These aren't random urges. These are your higher self guiding you to take actions that will accelerate the manifestation. Always follow your inspired action, even if it doesn't make logical sense. Miracles don't manifest through logic. They manifest through alignment. The fifth marker is the final push. Right before a major miracle manifests, there's often a period where things seem to get worse, where doubt creeps back in, where it looks like nothing is working. This is actually a sign that you're close. It's the universe's final test. Will you hold your frequency? Will you maintain your faith, or will you collapse back into doubt and fear? When you recognize this as the final push, you can stay steady. You can demonstrate courage. You can recommit to your intention. You can reaffirm your faith, and then the breakthrough comes. What we're doing here isn't just about manifesting one specific miracle. It's about shifting your entire consciousness so that you operate at the miracle frequency as your baseline state. Imagine living your life where synchronicity is normal, where solutions appear effortlessly, where you're constantly in the right place at the right time, where your needs are met before you even articulate them, where healing happens spontaneously, where abundance flows naturally. It's not fantasy. This is how life is supposed to be when you're aligned with the 0-point field, when you operate as the divine creator that you actually are. Most people live in scarcity. They believe in limitation. They expect problems. They brace for disappointment, and that's what they experience, not because the universe is punishing them, but because they're collapsing probability waves from that frequency. But you can choose differently. You can choose to live in miracle consciousness, to expect the extraordinary, to be open to the impossible, to trust that you were always supported, guided, always provided for. And when you make that choice consistently, and you hold that frequency day after day, your entire life transforms into a series of miracles. The key is to start noticing the small miracles because they're happening all the time. You're alive. That's a miracle. Your heart is beating without you having to think about it. That is a miracle. The sun rose this morning. The earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and you're not being flung off into space. Miracles. When you start appreciating the miracles that are already present, you create a frequency that attracts more miracles. The universe says, oh, you're paying attention to miracles. Here, have some more. Let me tell you something that might blow your mind. You're already a miracle. Think about the odds of you existing. Your parents had to meet. They had to decide to have a child. They had to conceive at exactly the right moment for exactly the right sperm to meet exactly the right egg. And that had to happen for your parents and their parents and their parents, going back thousands of generations. If any single thing had been different in that chain of events, you wouldn't exist. At least not as the specific consciousness inhabiting the specific body, hearing these words right now. The odds against your existence are so astronomical that mathematically you shouldn't be here. And yet you are. That is a miracle. And it's not just your physical birth. Every moment you continue to exist is a miracle. Trillions of cells coordinating in perfect harmony, electrical signals firing across neurons at the speed of thought, a heart that beats 100,000 times a day for decades without you ever having to think about it. You're a walking, breathing, living miracle. And when you recognize that, when you really feel the truth of that, everything changes. Because if your existence is already a miracle, then manifesting additional miracles isn't some impossible feat. It's just more of what you already are. It's just consciousness continuing to do what consciousness does, create reality. You're not manifesting your miracles in isolation. You're part of a collective field of consciousness. And the more people who operate at the miracle frequency, the easier it becomes for everyone to access miracles. This is why we're seeing an explosion of spontaneous healing, synchronicities, and impossible manifestations right now. It's not that the universe has suddenly gotten more generous. It's that the collective consciousness of humanity is rising. More and more people are waking up to their creative power, and as they do, they are making it easier for others to wake up too. You're part of this wave, and by activating your miracle consciousness, you're not just transforming your own life, you're contributing to the transformation of the entire species. Every miracle you manifest sends ripples through the collective field. It makes miracles more possible for everyone else. It weakens the hold of the materialist paradigm that insists miracles are impossible. It creates new pathways of possibility. So when you manifest your miracle, you're not being selfish. You're being of service. You're demonstrating what's possible. You're being a beacon of light for others who are still trapped in limitation consciousness. Your conscious mind might be on board with all this, but if your subconscious mind is still running old programming of limitation, those programs will sabotage your miracle manifestation. So we need to prepare and reprogram the subconscious. And the best time to do this is in states of deep relaxation or right before sleep, when your conscious mind is quiet and your subconscious is more receptive. Here are the commands I want you to install in your subconscious. You can repeat these as affirmations or just allow them to sink into your awareness as I speak them. Say this with me if you can. I am a miracle. I create miracles. I expect miracles. I receive miracles. Miracles are natural for me. Miracles flow to me easily and effortlessly. I am aligned with the miracle frequency. I am open to infinite possibilities. The universe supports my highest good. I trust divine timing. I surrender to divine intelligence. I am worthy of all blessings. I am grateful for the miracles already present in my life. I am grateful for the miracles that are coming. I operate at the frequency of miracles. I am miracle consciousness embodied. Feel these statements sinking deep into your subconscious mind. Because they are. You just might not have fully realized it yet. And over the coming days and weeks, you can repeat this statement Write it down, record it in your own voice, and listen to it before bed. However you choose to work with, you're rewiring your subconscious to expect and allow miracles. I'll create a sleep meditation with that affirmation in the near future. Now, I want you to make a commitment, not to me, not to anyone else, to yourself, to the universe, to the highest aspect of your being. The commitment is this: I commit to living as a miracle. I commit to operating at the miracle frequency. I commit to expecting the extraordinary. I commit to recognizing miracles when they appear. I commit to being a channel through which the infinite intelligence of the universe can express itself. This is not a light commitment. This is a declaration that you're choosing to step out of ordinary consciousness and into miracle consciousness. That you're choosing to no longer be limited by the beliefs and expectations of the masses. That you're claiming your birthright as a divine creator. So make that commitment now. Say it out loud if you can, or speak it silently in your heart, but mean it. Feel the weight of it. Feel the power of it. Say it once again. I commit to living as a miracle. I commit to operating at the miracle frequency. I commit to expecting the extraordinary. I commit to recognizing miracles when they appear. I commit to being a channel through which the infinite intelligence of the universe can express itself. And know that when you make this commitment, the universe hears it and responds. Doors will open. Synchronicities will increase. Your miracle will begin its journey from the quantum field into physical manifestation. I want to leave you with one final truth. Your miracle is already done. Not in the future, not pending, done. In the field, in the realm of infinite, in the mind of God, if you want to use that language. Your miracle already exists in completed form. It's already real. It's already manifested. Your job now is just to align your consciousness with the timeline where that's true, to collapse that probability wave into your experienced reality, to become the version of yourself who has already received the miracle. So rest in the knowing that your miracle is done. It's already yours. It's just a matter of time, and probably less time than you think before you see it in physical form. Take a deep breath. And another. Allow everything from this activation to integrate into your consciousness. You've just recalibrated your entire frequency, released blocks, accessed the 0 point field, aligned with miracle consciousness, and programmed your subconscious. You have made a commitment. Things are going to change. Maybe quickly, maybe gradually, but change is inevitable now because you've shifted at a fundamental level. Pay attention in the coming days. Notice the synchronicities, the doors opening, the inspired action. Notice the peace. Most of all, notice the miracles. They are coming. They are already on their way. They are already here. Welcome to your miracle. Join the Reality Revolution community, where we have exclusive content and weekly coaching sessions and the most amazing group of people ever. You can find it at www.skool.com/reality revolution. And welcome to the Reality Revolution.